Hi there guys, Dan Holton from GuitarLessonCentral.com here again, and just still going through some questions for you here. Now, we've had a question from Peter Franks in Amsterdam, and he says, "Hi Dan, what is the difference between a major chord and a minor chord? I know they sound different, but why do you call one major and the other minor?" Okay, so that's a pretty theoretical question, which I'm more than happy to go through with you. But you need to understand a few things first, okay? And so if any of this kind of brushes over your head, then I would highly recommend kind of doing a basic kind of theory brush up from scratch, okay? So let's just go over this. Essentially, this is the basic idea, okay? Everything is built from the major scale, okay? If you just have that idea in the back of your head, okay, so chords don't just appear from nowhere. They're not just a random selection of notes chosen like a kind of lottery balls or anything like that. You know, this is all built, every chord is built from the basic major scale. So I'm going to play a G major scale, okay, and it sounds like this. You might have even seen or played a G major scale, but it sounds like this. Okay, and what we've got in this G major scale, don't worry about learning the shape or anything. We've got 7 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then it starts again. You can hear that resolve. Okay, that gives us G major scale, and that's the same for any major scale. You get 7 notes. A certain distance apart from each note, a tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone, as we say here, will give you a major scale. Okay, so that's the real basics. Now, from that basic scale, you can start building chords. So if you start choosing 2 or 3 of those notes, put them together, and what have you got? Not bibbidi bobbidi boo. You've got a chord of some kind. Okay. And this is where we can start answering your questions. So if you put together the 3 notes, the 1, the 3, and the 5 from that major scale, so the first note along, okay, that's a G. If I count up 3, 1, 2, 3, that's a B. Okay, so there's the first and the third, and then the 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That gives you 1, 3, and 5. That gives you a major chord. Now, I know it doesn't look like it, but let's say, for example, I play a G major open chord. In that chord, I've got those 3 notes, just over and over again. So I've got a G, a B, a D, that's the 1, 3, 5. Then I've got another G, so another 1. Then I've got another D, so another 5, and then another G. So even though it looks like I'm playing 6 notes, I'm just playing the same 3 notes repeated kind of thing. So that's what it takes to create a major chord. And do you know what? The main fundamental element in that chord is actually the relation between the root note, so the 1, and the 3, the third note. That is the sound, the definitive sound of major. So here's the root, and here's the third. Major, all over the place. I can find that anywhere all over the place. There's a G, and there's the third. I can kind of do slightly higher intervals. There's a G, and there's a third. You can hear it sounds very major, okay? So, when we start to convert that to minor, what we do is we start altering the major scale, okay? And that's when you start getting different sounds, and in this instance, a minor sound, okay? So what happens when you do a G minor instead of a G major is you take the G, the first, you take the same 5th even, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you take those 2 and you keep those 2. But what you do is with the third, which was originally this B, you have to drop it, you have to flatten it. And in this instance, that gives us a B flat, okay? So by flattening that note, which you would see referred to as a flat third, or some people might even call it a minor third, because it defines the minor, but a flat third, that changes the sound entirely, okay? Because now we've changed the major scale. We've changed it. It is no longer fully major, and we're making it sound like a minor. So if you have a listen now to the sound of those 3 notes, there's the G, there's the flat third, okay, so immediately different, and there's the 5th again, okay? If I kind of put those together in a place where, you know, I can actually play the 3 at the same time, for example here, G, B flat, D. Minor, okay? And it sounds darker. So to answer your question, theoretically, it's the third that makes a difference, okay? So both major and minor chords, triads, so 3-note chords, they have the 3 notes in them, the 1, the 3, and the 5, and whether that 3 is a major third, so from the major scale, just a basic 3, okay, or a minor third makes a difference, okay? And, you know, it totally changes the sound, it will change the key, it will change everything about it, okay? So, hopefully that's answered your question. What I would do is try and sit there and first of all just kind of bring up a major scale online, or just type, you know, a C major scale if you want to know. It's just C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, nice and easy. And then try and work out how you would do a C major chord and a C minor chord. And then try and find those 3 notes on the neck anywhere. You know, you are not limited, literally you're limited by how far your fingers can stretch, and then test it out for yourself, okay? And hopefully by doing that process, you'll start to understand how they work and how they're used.